Hi, everyone. Welcome to our first episode of Friends from Work. I'm Tom. This is Sean. And here we're going to talk about TV-related things. We'll maybe get to some other subjects later, but for the time being, we'll stay related to TV. So if you do me a favor, leave a like down below. Comment what you think of the podcast at the end of this episode. And do me a favor, hit that subscribe button with the notification bell. And this episode, we are going to be talking about Resident Evil on Netflix. I'll let Sean go with the background, what he's been related to, or what correlation he has with the said franchise, and you can take it away from there.
I'm pretty familiar with most of it. Played almost all the games. I'd probably say all of them except for the newest one. Seen all the movies, probably except for the most recent one. The show, so I was really interested to see what they do with the show. Netflix is pretty hit or miss. Either it's really good or it's really bad. And as we get through this, I'm sure you will figure out which one I thought this one was. But I thought it was pretty true to what Resident Evil has been doing a lot lately, what I like about it and what I don't like about it. And that's really, like I said, background-wise, all I'd have to say.
Regarding me, I only watched the movies. I never played the games. Sean had to give me a little background check because I always thought the movies were similar to the games. And then I guess they really weren't. They're a lot more extra, but I guess that comes with multi-part franchise. Is that what you call it?
Yeah, multivariate. I guess.
Whatever. They did like 15. Yeah. When you do that broad spectrum. I guess I'll start with how I liked it. I have my notebook here, so I didn't like it at all. There's like maybe two things I liked, and I'm pretty sure one of them is the same thing as his. I didn't like the villains at all. I think the villains are really stupid. Billy was the sister. When she was older, it didn't make sense to me. They liked each other when you saw in the flashbacks, that they went along. They were like, oh, let's go break into the lab with each other and then blame it on dad. And then like all that stuff. They got along like the whole series, like little bitter rivalries about a boy and stuff like that. But other than that, like, they were fine all the way up to the finale background-wise. Like, they left with each other during the outbreak. And then we flash forward to recent times. And then they're like, oh, well, I hate you and you hate me. And they gave no context. They just flipped it. There's no, like, hints about it or anything. They showed, like, their sisters to the end when they were kids. But when they're adults, like, oh, I hate you.
Yeah, that was really, really weird. I felt like the whole flashback was, like, building on how strong their sisterhood was, their bond was, and they basically never let us know why it broke. Like, it was just like, oh, they're on opposite. It's been 10 years and they're on opposite sides. So like that's it. She's got like that was really weird and confusing. Like I said, they stay on par to what they do. Villains, I think Resident Evil does a bad job. Their villains, their bad guys are always super corny, super over the top, just don't make no sense. I feel like that with almost all the movies. I feel like in a zombie movie, you shouldn't really have a main bad guy. I think that's their problem, that they have a zombie universe where the main bad guy isn't the zombies.
Yeah.
So it's like this weird thing where like they have to be more evil and like more sadistic than a zombie might be. So it always comes out as weird and awkward. Like in the movies, they always had like a big giant guy who had a leather jacket on and a machine gun, or like weird stuff.
Yeah.
Like super like doesn't make any sense.
I remember the shower scene. Was it the third one? That's exactly what it was. Like some guy like 7 foot tall. It was like haunting like the whole until like they fought in the
he fought like it's just like weird, like just weird over the top bad guys where it's like I think they get away from the traditional like zombie. Like there's already enough horror. Everyone's who died is alive and they're trying to eat you, like, and you can't kill them, like. So you don't. So that part always, Resident Evil always like confused me with that. They always try and go over the top. And like I said, the bad guy was just. They like weren't even really a bad guy. It was like economy was the bad guy. Like you're like this like so it wasn't even like she wasn't even that bad. She was just like a money hungry CEO. Which
but
really wasn't even that bad. The only redeeming thing, like he said, I'm sure that was the only really redeeming thing in the show was Wesker and.
Is it Wesker or Wesley?
Wesker, right?
It is
Wesker. Like
I forgot.
Yeah.
If we mess up the names, forgive us.
No, he's from the game too, but I'm pretty sure it's not a black guy.
No, it's not. It's a white guy. That was a bit. I remember I saw that on Twitter.
It's a white guy in the games, and I don't remember him having clones. Maybe he did have clones. There was a lot of clones in the shows.
Clones was a thing. I remember that.
The clones were a thing, but I don't know if it was the same. I thought his clone origin story was dope, though. I thought it was really cool. They were all like different personalities. They're all like good dudes, except for the one, and they all stuck together. They all worked. That was really cool. I like that. I wish we would have. I honestly, once we found that out, like what really gripped me, and I wanted to finish it because I just wanted to see more of that. And I think that none of the plots they were building up paid off. I thought they were all like they fell on their face. Like I said, we never found out why the sisters don't like each other.
Yeah.
That we didn't really figure out anything about the Weskers and if there were more of them were alive or you know what I mean.
That was their big. Yeah, I'll go off that point. Is like when they just introduced something. And that's it. You couldn't develop an emotional attachment to it at all. To any of the characters, really, besides Wesker.
Like even the scientist chick who died. We really didn't. It's like it was cool. It was gruesome or whatever. But like we had just met her like
an hour, not even like 20 minutes ago.
Half, maybe she was in, and like maybe she had 10 minutes of screen time. Right. It's like, oh, cool. Like we didn't really know her daughter. We didn't know her husband. We had no really bond. So it's like there was a waste of time even showing that because it's like we didn't even care. Like, it seemed like she didn't care because we didn't know how much she cared. Like so, it's like you need to see that a little bit.
That was exactly I was going to say.
Walking Dead, like you knew how much Rick cared about his family.
Yeah, like you saw in all of season 2, like he ran with Carl.
Emphasis, like more than anything, and it's like she made it seem like she cared about her family a lot, but she kept.
But it was like in the background. She never said, "I need to get."
The opposite stuff though. It's like.
So she was just trying to get to safety. She never said, "I need to go see my kid." She was like, "I need to get out of here." Yeah,
just, like I thought it was very disingenuous, like how much. Obviously, she did, but
it wasn't evoked enough.
Yeah, they didn't build any. But the only character I felt bad for was like when you found out that one Wesker was just locked in that room the whole time.
Yeah,
like I was like, damn, the whole time he was living right underneath his brother. He didn't, or his clone, whatever you want to call him. He didn't know like. That was weird. But the sisters, it was just weird. I didn't really care. It was like a bunch of rich kids in our high school. Oh no, we got to go to a new high school. Our dad, like this weird storyline they always do with girls in high school now, where like their dad's basically pretty awesome, but they're like, oh, he's the worst.
He's strict.
My dad's the worst.
My dad works too much.
My dad's rich, and you know what I mean.
We don't have a mom, and
this is like a zombie outbreak too. Yeah. So it's like, oh, we live in this great community where zombies don't eat our faces off, and we're gonna complain about it the whole time, like.
Let's think. Jade was the daughter, right?
Jade was the sister, right? The main character, right?
Oh yeah. Sorry, yeah. Jade, she just didn't really do it.
She's a bad main character.
Yeah, like, she was just there. Like
I thought all
you
the
could have
put
everyone. Yeah.
Like I don't remember. Nobody stood out to me in that, and I wanted to like it, but I just thought it was poorly done. Honestly, I don't waste money by Netflix. I feel like they could have done something a lot better than that. Like I wish they would like. To me, the last good Resident Evil movie they did was the first one, and what did they do?
You didn't like I like the third one.
The second one was
the first three I really liked.
The other one, they were okay. I just think they ended stupid because they had stupid bad guys.
Yeah,
I just think the first one was a genuinely good movie, where like it wasn't over the top, nice horror. Like you built the bond with some of these characters, but I just feel like this show was just bad. And it already got canceled, right? They're not doing.
Yeah. We've had to shoot this episode a few times, but yeah, we found out. What was it?
It's like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
it was before we shot the one the last time.
Yeah,
so, but it's been. I'm pretty sure they're not renewing.
Yeah, no, they canceled it within like a week after its release. If I'm not, he's shown me it. So please, if we're wrong, comment down below.
I don't know if it's a week, but within a month, I'd say.
Yeah.
Because
it was really fast.
Like 2 months ago, June, right?
We watched it in June around that time.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, I mean it's only been out 3 months, maybe. So it's already canceled.
Yeah, it got canceled.
Especially with something with such a strong
fan base
behind them too. I know people love Resident Evil.
Yeah, I was really excited. Like I haven't been excited for a show in a minute. Cobra Kai just came out too, but oh my god, stop hitting that down. Yeah, we're open. I lost my train of thought. I was really excited about Resident Evil. I thought, like you said, it was going to be like a zombie show. Like they did really good with Black Summer. If you guys have seen that, if you haven't, what are you doing? But I think Black Summer was a really good zombie show. But like they have obviously different franchises, but they have a base idea of like what the audience reacts to well and doesn't do well, etc. Or if they didn't want to base it off Black Summer, they should have just done just a purely what was the flashback? Just that as a series.
I think I would have liked it more. Like the flashback was okay. I felt more towards those characters, and I just think as a whole, I didn't care about any of the characters. The flashbacks was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Even though it was just like some basic teenage drama, but like when you find out the stuff about their dad and the clones, like I said, I'm gonna keep saying that was really interesting. That little kid who got killed and the hacker, that was pretty cool. And it was just like, that's interesting because you want to learn about what's happening in the universe because they're just living a normal life.
Yeah.
In a zombie outbreak. So that too is a little more intriguing. And then you just flash forward to the middle of this with like two sides, and then there's like some Mad Max shit in the middle. It's like, it was just all very confusing. You don't know, like, you don't have a side to be on. Haven't picked a side. You're basically just forcing you to be on the main character side without explaining anything. And it just wasn't very interesting. Like I said, the only interesting part was the flashback part, all because you're like, oh, that's how the outbreak got out. So that was kind of interesting. But even then, it was just like a basic, classic girl teenagers.
But I think if they went into depth with that, at least, I think they could have done something better. Because that writing was comparatively to the
future
current.
Yeah, I would say it was at least interesting.
Yeah.
That stuff made me want to watch it more.
Because they could have had a shaky first season, sure, and then they could have recouped by season 2. Like, okay, this is what we did wrong in season 1. If they just based it off purely the flashbacks.
I feel like they did the same thing with another show Netflix out. I think it was Jupiter's Legacy. It was a superhero show based on the books that people really liked, and they did that. Like it got canceled shortly after the first season came out. A lot of famous people were in it, and that I thought that was a problem. They had a future storyline and a past storyline. And the future storyline was what's going on in I guess it wasn't future; it was a present storyline. And then they had the past storyline was how these guys got their powers, and that story was just like 10 times more interesting than what was going on in I guess their main storyline.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same problem Resident Evil had, where like their future one that they weren't even spending, or their past storyline that they weren't even spending as much time on, was far more interesting than their future one. And it just didn't pan out. And then, like I said, in the end, they had a super giant crocodile monster that was just like, that didn't just kill everyone. Like,
it really didn't do much.
Yeah, it's just
it just killed the people at like a fence, right? That was
stupid.
it, right?
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, for the show to be that bad, the payoff was a giant alligator monster. Like,
and it didn't kill the little girl, right?
Yeah, no, it was like, and they stopped him with pheromones.
Yeah,
and like, it was just stupid. And I think they could have definitely done better. They could have found a better bad guy than that, or a better final scene than that. I don't know if the bad guy could have been.
I think what they should have done, because I'm looking at my notes here, and I do remember Evelyn did shoot her son, Simon. I feel like, and like I said, this is going back. When I say all this stuff, I'm just thinking if the show is only based on the flashbacks. The today side of their plot, dog shit. Like it's like it was not good. Like I did not care. But if it's purely based off that, they should have. And like the season finale is when she shot her son. Cause I was kind of expecting it, but like I was like it could go either way.
Yeah, like that's what him hacking in was cool. His dad finding out, then lying, and like the dog attacking the girl. Like that stuff was at least interesting.
Yeah,
it had some intrigue.
You can definitely recoup a bad season 1, a shaky season 1 with that stuff to season 2.
Like the present. I keep saying future because I guess it's the future of that, but the present storyline was just terrible. Like I guess it was in our future, so. But it was just terrible and just very uninteresting, and I'm not surprised it got canceled. It's like if I don't like it, I'm usually pretty loose, and I'm one of the type of people who will finish it out so I can give it a fair shot. And it was just bad, and I know if I barely got through it, I know most people definitely aren't going to.
I really did not hear a lot of people talking about it.
I don't know.
Besides
us, I have plenty of friends who are Resident Evil fans, and when the movies come out, they say something. I don't think I've heard one person say anything about the show.
I haven't seen a lot of tweets. No. I haven't seen a lot of social media in general.
I haven't even seen like bad memes. It's like you can't even make memes about it because people probably couldn't even get the first episode's pretty bad.
Yeah,
like this is just really not that good of a show.
Yeah, no. In my I said this last time. The only reason I watched this show was strictly for this podcast. I was excited for it, but it wasn't gonna be like I'm gonna watch it the day it comes out. I was like, I'll get to it. Like I'll watch an episode a week or something like that. Like I didn't expect to get spoiled, and then I had to binge it so I can make sure I get everything done for this. But I will give it one rose. I really did like the action. I mean, it's not really hard to do action scenes nowadays. Was it like a giant mutant caterpillar? I thought that was a really cool scene, just that little interaction going on. But I mean, I've seen the zombie stuff wasn't too interesting, but going off your point of it is just a zombie. It's supposed to be zombie related. Sure, there's other mutant stuff, but it's mainly just a zombie apocalypse genre.
Yeah, but
the zombies weren't really a threat. Is when I was watching, it's like, oh yeah, oh look it, she cut her, she cut her arm.
She almost gets attacked.
But like you knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, but I'm just saying like that was the only scene with a bunch of zombies, and then the one when they're in like that camp or whatever, and they come to get her. It's but it's like after that, it's like in the final scene where they build that camp up again, but it's like just not even there. So it's,
no, but like it wasn't prominent
universe, but it's more like I said, the bad guys like fucking
the pharmaceutical company,
the
big CEO.
Yeah. She's like not even that evil. She's
Jeff
just like
Bezos killed me.
With the fucking teenager who won't listen to her, but she's just like worried about making money. Like, so it's just like not a good villain to get behind that you don't like, and it's just I don't know. It's just a bad show.
Yeah, no. Should we do out of 10 or out of 5? Oh wait, before we do you have any last points before?
Not really. Like I said, it's really bad. I definitely wouldn't recommend watching it. I did like the Wesker stuff. That guy who plays him, I can't think of his name. I'll be more prepared next time because I would like to give his name, but he did a very good job. I thought he was the only one who did a good job. His character was the only redeeming character I can remember. Besides that, we'll go out of 10. I'll say a 3.
3. Final points for me. Plot was god awful. I don't remember. I'm bad with characters' names, but if I can't remember one or get confused, that's when you know you can care less. Pretty emotionless. It felt like it was like a local theater play when it's a bunch of 7-year-olds acting. Action was good. Like you said, the guy who played Albert was really good. The pregnant lady scene was cool when she died, but like I said, I think it would have been a lot better if she was introduced in like a semi-flashback in episode 1 and kind of build their friendship. I think that could have been something interesting. Then you see her die. Like we got enough flashbacks with her and the sister, and that went to shit. We got flashbacks with Albert, and that built our enjoyable relationship with him. And then you could have done something with that pregnant scientist lady who, when she died, be like, oh my god, that's so crazy. I'm so excited she's gonna meet up with her, then she dies. But I would probably rate it 3 is pretty high. Like these are this video.
I say 3 because I stomached it. Like it was really bad, but I did get through all of the episodes. Like it had a beginning, middle, end. It was. It did have. What I'm saying is it followed like a conventional storyline arc. Like we all knew what was going to happen. Like. And the flashbacks are good, so I thought the flashback really. If I would degrade the show on the flashback, probably give it like a 5 or 6. If we're just doing like show based on how the flashbacks went, so that's why I probably say a 3. I think it was okay. I finished it. I can't anything lower than 3. I just feel like I wouldn't be able to finish watching it unless it was like something I set out to watch, and I thought it was, like I said, I don't think it was that bad, but it was a 3.
2, solid 2. 2. Like honestly, like going off what you said, like oh yeah, like I said to y'all, like the only reason I watched this show, like binge through it, get through it, take proper notes, was for this. So please, for the love of God, I went through 6 hours of this shit, for you guys. He did too. So if you could do me favors, like the video, subscribe if you haven't, because that'd be a douchebag move.
Also comment any shows you think we should watch or do a video on.
Yeah, please. Other than that, all of the links are down below. Follow us on Instagram, friendsfromwork_podcast. It's a lot to type, so just click the link down below. And I'm Tom. This is Sean, and we're out. Peace.